everywhere we go, under the sun or in the snow. From Vancouver to Toronto, people want to know. At the first glance, if by any chance the way we sing and dance, we wouldn't come from France, we answer no. Oh no, no, no. We're not Frenchmen, we're not Germans, we're not Russians, we're not Polish, we're not English, Indians, Negroes, we're not even Eskimos. We're not Cajuns, though we're raging. All we want is a good living. We're your neighbors from Quebec, des tatas pis des beaux-becs. French is fun, French is money, that's all we're trying to say. Why don't you join the party? Alouette, je t'y plumerai.
I think that English Canada they didn't know that we were there before the first bombs. They knew that there were some people, 6 million people somewhere who spoke some kind of a bad French, but didn't care. They just didn't know that we were there, but we're not bad. We're people who want something, and we want it badly.
Je travaille comme un enragé jusqu'à midi. Je lave les robes, les jupes, les bas, les chandails, les pantalons, les caleçons, les brossières. Tout y passe, pis frotte, pis tombe, pis frotte, pis rince. C'est écœurant, j'ai les mains rouges, c'est écœuré. Sac, mais... À midi, les enfants reviennent. Ça mange comme des cochons. Ça revire la maison à l'envers.
My name is Michel Tremblay. I was born in Montreal in 1942 during the war. On June 25th, I'm a Cancer.
And he's a #1 Quebec playwright.
My name is André Brassard, Brassard. I was born in Montreal on the 27th of August, 1946. Virgo with a Scorpio rising.
And he's a #1 Quebec stage director. And together they've transformed Quebec theatre. Since 1968, Tremblay and Brassard have been entertaining millions of Quebecers in the language they speak. And this year, 3 of their plays will have been seen in translation in English Canada. But it is in Quebec where the value of their work has the most meaning.
In Quebec, where the roots are not very deeply in the ground, Tremblay and Brassard are probably the people who have helped giving us a meaning for being what we are.
I used to play some script in French argot, the French Parisian French, and I couldn't do that anymore. So when I had the chance to play in Demain, matin, matin, I discovered the theater again.
They are, what I think, what is the most Quebec. Quebec is French, it is Canadian, but it is American. It is North American. And I think that Brassard and Tremblay understood that.
And I was born in, not in Far East, but in the eastern part of Montreal in a very poor family. And I had a very strange childhood, and I guess that's what I'm always talking about in what I write. more or less about my childhood and the people I knew. And I didn't realize that I wanted to talk about these people until I was about 23 or 24 years old. Because like everybody in Quebec, I wanted to go off what I knew when I was young.
And I started getting involved in theater when I was in school. The usual way, like doing Molière for the little parties they have at the end of the year when they give you the grades and the books and everything. You know, you do some entertaining for them.
Ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to write. At the beginning, when I was a small boy, I didn't know what a writer was, so I used to play things with my mother's dresses or my father's outfits and everything, because I didn't know that what I heard on the radio and what I saw on TV was written by somebody. And when I began to write, I wrote beautiful things in French and saying beautiful things about beautiful people. But I realized in 1965 that I really felt I had to describe the people I knew at that time and people I still know.
L'après-midi, j'étends. Ça, c'est mortel, j'ai dit ça comme une bonne. Après, je prépare le souper. Le monde revienne, ils ont de l'air bête. On se chicane. Mais le soir, on regarde la télévision.
Mardi. Dès que le soleil... Je me lève puis je prépare le déjeuner.
Tremblay is, for me, is a playwright that is as good as Chekhov, and that could be for everybody. I mean, not only for us in Montreal, sitting in our little backyards, but for you or for everybody, that it could be important for you to listen to what he has to say.
Michel Tremblay's characters come from a working-class world, but they deal with their lives in two distinct ways. In Les Belles-Soeurs, the sisters, Tremblay created a group of women trapped and embittered by the limitations of their lives. But he also writes about those who dream of escape, and in Demain, matin, matin, tomorrow Montreal awaits me, he describes a set of pathetic characters who fled their backyards only to be caught in the phony half-world of strip joints and cheap nightclubs. For the rest of this film, the actors from these two plays will assume the reality of those characters, and the two worlds will confront each other. The characters from Les Belles-Soeurs have been asked to give a party in honor of Playwright Tremblay and their director Brassard. The guests will be the characters from Demain, matin, matin.
Combien est-ce qu'il faut de verres, là, madame? Oh, mon Dieu, combien de verres? Qu'est-ce qui vient? Oh, j'ai ma liste. Je vais vérifier. C'est une liste que Michel... Vous savez, vous connaissez Michel.
Oui, c'est pas Michel et André.
You have to speak English, nobody will understand us. Oh, ben oui, c'est... Yes, of course. Well,
how many?
Well, first we have the Duchess of Langeais. Duchess of Langeais.
What?
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's a friend of
Why?
Michel?
I think so. And we have...
Why did you invite this son of a bitch?
Well,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Please, Mrs. Brouillet.
Do you know her?
Oh, she's terrible.
Yes.
Him? Well, anyway, that's the list that
Duchess, that's a
Michel
boy?
gave me, so... we have two,
Oh, maybe
we
la
have
Brouillet, you don't
also
know.
Lola Lee.
Oh,
she's a singer. I know her. Oh,
yeah, I know her.
wonderful. We have Louise Tétrault.
who's that?
But they are friends of Michel and André.
I don't know. Marcel Girard.
Oh,
Butch. Oh,
Butch? Yes, Butch is a friend of my daughter.
No,
yeah,
is that so?
Very good girl. She never goes out with boys.
That's
Very
strange.
nice
My doctor, Micheline, doesn't know him. Anyway, Brigitte.
You said her? She said
You know Brigitte?
I don't know, but we need 14 glasses.
Michel, André, and us.
Yeah, well, that
makes
did you
14.
count? Did you count?
I count. 14, that's a lot.
How many?
Do you have enough beef? Do you have enough coke? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we're about 15. 14. Oh, that's gonna be a big party.
Are we going to stay here?
Oh, well, no, well, if it's a shiny afternoon, we're gonna do it in the yard.
Oh,
When are they?
The first things I did were about women because I think in the Quebec theater, well, I don't know if I can say before me, but well, before me, the writers used to describe men mostly.
Oh, it's all right, Mrs. Wheeler, it's all right.
Well, we have
Look
the
at them, it's full of dust. All right.
Now we have
After
to,
all, we're
wash
having a
these-
party. Huh? We're having a party. It should be clean before the party starts.
Well, it is.
Rose, I told you to hold your tongue. would you?
Oh, ça va faire, c'est achalant.
We hadn't have the women in Quebec, we wouldn't be here, I think, because it's the women who made this thing about speaking a bad French, but speaking French anyway, because the men had to speak in English if they wanted to earn some money. I always say that there are no men in Quebec. There are some now, but once there were no men in Quebec.
She says he, you say her.
Well, the Duchess is a woman, of course.
I said it's a boy.
The man.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, we'll see about it.
Is it a travestie? How do you call that?
What?
Travestie or
A
something?
travestie?
What's that? Yes.
Huh? What's that?
And anyway, it's somebody that's, it's a boy that dresses like a woman or a woman that dresses like a boy.
Mais toi, tu connais des affaires, toi?
I think it's funny.
Is it funny?
Very funny.
Cheap people.
I think that everybody in all my plays is, in a way, a transvestite. Is because everyone's in every play I wrote wants to be something else. And some are men disguised as women, but some are women who wants to become other women. In Demain, matin, Montréal, matin, 10 men were dressed as women. I think that the main reason is those characters want so much to be somebody else that they go that far.
We'll have a lot of fun here.
Oh, la Duchesse, je suis ravie. Quel est votre nom? Présentez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Madame de Courval, je pense que vous savez, hein? Bonjour.
Marcel Gérard.
Oh,
You're Madame de
pardon,
Courval?
Marcel Gérard, oui, je suis
I
Madame de
think it's
Courval.
very nice at your place with those stairs.
Thank you. You're Mr. What's your name, please?
Moi, je viens pas.
Non,
Madame Lopez.
Madame non.
Comment elle s'appelle?
Bonjour, Butch, comment ça va?
It's very complicated, but everyone in Quebec wants to be somebody else because we want something else. We ate shit for 300 or 400 years, and we want something. We want our country for ourselves first, and we want to be somebody. We were nobodies for 300 years, so we want so much to be somebody that we try in every way.
I bought it in Paris.
Do you mind if I take a photo?
Madame
Hello, darling. I want to know how long you live here.
Oh, well,
Don't answer his question, please.
You bitch, would you please mind your
it's gonna
own
be the
business?
newspaper.
No, it's a little paper. It's a
No,
yellow paper, we say in
since
French.
I was a young baby.
You lived here
A
on the
young
street?
baby.
A young baby.
Since about how many years?
Oh, come on.
50.
Don't be afraid to say your age. You look like.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gérard. And you know Michel.
You know, I have a son that likes music so much.
Does he sing? I would like to be presented
No,
to
I
him.
think no, but I think he's going to be a conductor or something like that.
Oh, yes, I'd like to be conducted
Crazy
by
about
him.
Symphony
classic.
No, we go in the yard.
Madame de Courval.
Oh, it's a garden party.
The garden, it's a 5 to 7 party.
I like the...
Oh, it's a garden party. Where's the garden?
It is with my heart filled with emotion that I raise my glass.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful
red heart there.
And I raise my glass to everybody I love, and that includes everybody who's here. No, they were happy because we were there and because many stars from TV were there. But if you go there alone and talk with them, you'll see that they are not happy.
Oh, you should sing for us.
The people who try to escape in my plays escape in a very strange way. I always say that they try to go to heaven by becoming dancers or singers.
You'll sing with us after.
Okay. But just after, hein? Tu commences pas tout de suite en même temps que nous autres, just after.
Ça fait... Well, you started. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Le Brésil brille, Brasilia, Brasilia braille. Le Brésil braille, Brasilia, Brasilia brille. L'Amérique brûle, tout le monde est à la mer. L'Amérique braille, l'Amérique est à la mer. Au Brésil, à Brasilia, au Brésil, au Brésil, à Brasilia, au Brésil, au Brésil, à Brasilia. I'm sorry, I have a show to do. Thank you.
Nobody in my plays up to here did the good step, made a good step. Don't ask me why. Maybe I will know sometime. I don't know now.
Madame de Courval, Madame de Courval, Madame de Courval, Madame de Courval, Madame de Courval.
In Italian.
Like when those two worlds, like the people from Demain, matin, Montréal, matin, with kind of people who, in order to be happy, are obliged to get dressed and made up and all that. When they are facing les belles-soeurs, it is not yet possible for those two worlds to understand each other, because they're not. Neither of them is happy enough to be able to understand somebody else, the other person.
C'est beau, ben non, c'est beau, c'est ça. C'est accroqué, c'est accroqué.
Very
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a,
nice.
M.
What you're
Gérard?
saying. It's very nice.
Thank
But
you.
Why don't you stop us if it's nice?
it's because I have something more important to show you. Very good.
Come on, let's do it. Come on.
Come in. Don't you think so?
Yes.
You should take a number, huh? Okay? Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, come and sit down.
Come in. So you see something very nice.
You coming with us? I'm so anxious.
I think you never saw that in your backyard, darlings.
A real surprise?
A real surprise.
And I think the most moving thing that happened when we did the film is at the end when the people react, and we didn't know that would happen.
Okay? You. Okay, music.
Allez, tiens ça. Ouais.
think it's time to wash the dishes.
Well, you ask the Duchess if you like him so much.
Oh, Madame de Courval, moi, je vous aiderais bien si je pouvais, mais... Oh, je suis tellement désappointée, je te le ferais bien.
Take your fucking rubber gloves. Take your fucking rubber gloves and do it yourself, you fucking stuck up!
I think that André and I, when we saw that, it's one of the most powerful things that happened in my life, I think. It was not moving, it was like in hell. And the actors didn't know either that that would happen. They were characters who thought that they were good because they went out their family and they were some kind of stars in a very cheap way. I almost cried for Les Belles-Soeurs. I didn't pity at all the people from the Demain, matin, Montréal, matin. It's very strange what I felt at this moment.
Well, it shows you at some point how the fact of being unhappy and lonely and uneasy in your surrounding, in your life, can make you angry and aggressive towards people who are feeling good and well, if those people are not living the same lives that you are living.
I don't want to change things. There was a hole in the Quebec theater, and somebody had to do it. But I don't want to change anything by myself. We have to be all together. We have to tell them how they are and why they have to change. And everybody knows that politics everywhere is really shit. So I think I can't say this word on TV, but I have to say it because everybody knows it. Politics is shit everywhere, and I couldn't really be in politics. I'm sorry. Though my plays are political plays, but I can't go. And I never went on the streets with des pancartes and yelling things. I can't do that because it's not my way of saying things. I do it with my pen, and I think I'm much better when I do it that way.
Yes, there's kind of a, shall I say, joy. Yeah, a life. Huh? I think we have a special kind of life that nobody else has in the world. And that's fun, because, and I think this is worth, even if it has no precise future, because I don't know about our future, but our present is, I think, exciting to be lived. And that was the commercial of the thing.
Je suis tannée de